now with Cecilia Gabriel, who is the owner and creator of Whims of Wanderlust, which is an awesome jewelry company. Yeah, which I first found on Etsy. Yeah, I actually had her make me bracelets that say "Expect Miracles" just so I could remember it. And I really do always wear something of yours, like every day.
I know, it's cute.
Because it's like, it puts me in the right state of mind. Her stuff is super inspirational.
Thank you.
And I also know that you weren't always in this place.
No.
That you were kind of struggling in the whole, the normal job that everyone just gets to pay their bills. So if you could tell us, I know you went to art school, kind of how it unfolded, how, where you started from. Take us back to before.
How far back do you want to go? I was always creative when I was little. And then I fell into, I was always trying to get a job, actually. When I was 13, I got my first job. No, really. I was mowing lawns. That's how I started. Yeah. So I was always in this mindset, I guess, of, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, I guess.
Okay, that's cool.
Just find ways to make money, but then there was also this creative aspect of me that I wanted to make sure I fulfill because I was given that gift. And so as I got older, I took art class in college. Everything actually started when my daughter was born.
Oh.
And that was like my wake-up call, and I got on this new path, and my third eye opened, and I found God, and then I decided that I'm gonna fulfill the path, my purpose, and I really wanted to help. I was going through a lot of suffering inside just from working the 9 to 5. I don't know, you get into that place, and you're there to like please everyone, and then you go home to yourself, and what do you have,
Yeah.
And for me, it was a lot of suffering.
Yeah.
And I knew that there was a way I could share just a better feeling for everyone to have instead of that suffering. And so was my drive to get out of work. And I was making like little purse charms in the beginning, and those were pretty ghetto. I thrifted everything. I had like hemp cord with like little birds. But then I was like, okay, I'm going to do something with this because you always have to work with what you have, you know? And so I made purse charms. I went to the Riverside Art Walk. I started selling at the Riverside Art Walk and selling them for $8 a piece. And I said, okay, I can make money out of this. And then I noticed, okay, maybe this could be something bigger, even if I can't see where it's going. Like, I had no idea it was going to be jewelry at all. And then I really fell in love with just crystals and like the energy of the crystals. And so I tried to tie everything, like my background with art and everything together, and at the same time find a way to get out of work. And so I started making jewelry. And it's all about healing. The jewelry is all about healing.
So it was basically when you said when your daughter was born.
It was when she was born. Yeah.
Woke up.
There's a different feeling. It's like I'm responsible for this human being. I wanted her to like actually see as she grew up that, okay, both my parents are at home,
Yeah.
My mom is doing something she's passionate about, it's not something she comes home and she's not happy,
Yeah.
And so like that was important for me.
Did you have that experience as a kid?
No.
What did you...
I actually had my mom see it at home. So that's pretty interesting. I actually we were poor, but I never felt like we were poor. There was always like a lot of food. And I can even say like I wasn't even in that state of mind. Even when I was, I was like the standard regular, like go out to parties kind of person. And then I felt empty is what it felt like. I knew there was something more. Each time I went to those parties, it wasn't like, it was empty. It's very empty.
Yeah.
And I needed God, and I needed a purpose and a higher purpose, and so what that would be, to share with other people that you can be happy if you choose to be happy. It's as simple as that. It's something that it's like the whole world is waking up right now. That's what I feel like. And
Age of Aquarius.
It's the age of yeah. So the whole world is on this new. I can't even explain it. It's like before, if you were to mention consciousness to someone, they'll be like, what?
Yeah.
Or intention, what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
But I feel like now it's like, before you even say anything, there's like a group of people hanging out there talking about it. That's what I feel like. And we're really in this age that everything's moving fast, and at the same time, there's a lot of people who have really good intentions, and there's a lot of healing going on right now too. So there's kind of a duality that's going on, but I feel like soon it's going to reach that place where everyone kind of wakes up to the illusion that we're living, and there's so much that I want to say about that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm a huge fan of Gabrielle Bernstein. I don't know if you're familiar with her, but she's reteaching in her own way A Course in Miracles, and the whole bottom line of that is that there's love and there's fear, and everything that's coming out of fear is completely an illusion. It doesn't even exist.
Well, even fear and like the limits we put on ourselves is self-imposed. It's something that is learned, you know what I mean? And so miracles are just something that is already, it's like happening already all around you, and you just have to kind of like open your eyes to it instead of like looking at the ground and like being in your head, like you said.
So when you were, and we don't have to say where you worked, but I know you were a waitress,
I was a waitress at Olive Garden.
When you were back there and you're like thinking, like, were you feeling stuck? I don't want to speak for you. So what like shift happened from feeling stuck? Because I know a lot of people feel stuck and they feel like they don't have choices or options, or like a lot of people are just waiting to be hired by someone and feel like the control is outside of themselves. Like, well, all I can do is fill out applications, but I'm stuck here, and like, you know, what shifted to kind of unstick you?
I think it was doing too much of repetitive thing over and over again. And for me, I have like a lot of creative fire, and so for me that was really a struggle. I think it was more of just like, it was like holding back what I love, which was creativity. And I think that was what really wanted me to shift into finding a better way of living, or like just a more happier way of living for me.
Is that why you started making the purse charms, or was that just like, was that a conscious thought?
Honestly, I don't know how everything, I feel like my intentions, I think everything is intention, and my intentions were good. I really wanted to just stay at home with my daughter. I was, you know, giving her from person to person, and so I think it was just all intention. And who knows, like sometimes things fall in my lap, or you just have to like, okay, how am I going to do this? Where am I going to do this? And things fall in your lap and you just have to pay attention to them. It's just a matter of paying attention, and surrendering yourself and what you think is best for you for what is actually given to you. It's you know what I mean? And not holding back and taking what is actually already there.
Yeah. What are some of the challenges of starting your own business? Because you no longer waitress.
The biggest challenge is what's going on inside. Yes, because you are your own worst. You'll make up every excuse, or look at every struggle as like that's not an obstacle you can overcome. You're your own biggest challenge. You have to like prepare yourself, but before you even start anything, prepare yourself internally, and it's more about the why than the how.
So I consider you successful because you're living your truth, for sure.
Thank you.
Were you into the idea of manifestation or affirmations?
When I started on this path and I was making purse charms, I just had like the little knowledge that I had from The Secret, that okay, I attract whatever I want, and that's it. It was just like little things, and you know, and it doesn't have to be anything complicated. It's like, it's simple, you know. And you'll see when you align yourself with the path you're supposed to be in, you'll actually meet. It wasn't even like I had to like pick up books or anything. I started meeting people that were like-minded, people that I wanted to learn from. A lot of teachers that I would consider them teachers. They wouldn't consider themselves teachers, but a lot of people that I really liked the way they live.
Yeah, so you're pretty successful on Etsy, I would say. But you started selling in stores as well.
I did.
You? How did that transition come about?
See, this is what I'm talking about. That came about because I was putting my best on Etsy.
Okay.
It all came through people finding me on Etsy.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So you were approached.
I was approached for the one in San Diego and for the one in Temecula. It's like, I never knew, like, in my head, actually, before those happened, I told Roger, I want to get in boutiques. I'm going to put it out there. Somehow, I want to get in boutiques. And my next thing is to get into yoga boutiques. That's something I actually want to, like, choose where I want to go with that. But it's all putting it out there and putting your best out there. I was just working really hard on Etsy. I was posting something almost every single day. And then they approached me, and I cried. Yeah. And that's, you know, like,
that's awesome.
I just cried, and you know, there was like a lot of moments like that where you kind of just don't believe it, but you do it anyways. It's like just doing it anyways.
Yeah.
Like moving past your emotions and just actually going out to do it. The plus side is that we do get to share a lot with people face to face, and which that's what I love. I love the online, but at the same time, it's like just feeling, because I'm like an empathic type of person.
Yes.
And so, like, if you start crying, I'm gonna start crying for no reason. I can just feel it, And so, like, sharing these stories, because I love to listen to people, and I feel like everyone has something to teach, And so, when I meet these people face to face, and I hear their struggle and I hear their triumph, that's what actually makes me cry, And I'm getting all emotional right now, because like there's been so many. I think that's a plus side for me. Is actually seeing. Even just being a listener, like before, like I could be a listener, but like a lot of people just need someone to listen to sometimes, and just like even just being, not even for jewelry, just being someone there that someone can like finally let go of something and you're there, like that has been very good for me. Like I get really touched by that, and I think that's what makes me feel whole, and that's really been the upside, and that's what I look forward to each time we go out and do an event.
Yeah, well, when I met you, I didn't have like friends around me that felt the same. I think we both cried a little bit. But I didn't have like friends who like felt the same way and felt like there was something missing. You know what I mean? And it was like just meeting someone in person who felt that way and was doing something about it. Wasn't just sitting back and complaining. It was like huge and super inspirational.
Thank you.
So I'm sure part of your purpose is to be meeting these people and inspiring these people like you're doing right now. So are you totally self-taught in your craft?
Yes. Our whole lives we're kind of taught in this like box, and it limits you. If I were to go to a jewelry class and they say this is how you use jump ring, that's the only, I look at it and that's the only way I can use a jump ring. So like for me it was more like just being a child again, like looking at something in a new way, and like perceiving it in any way it could possibly be. Like my daughter Arya, she when she was little, this just made me crack up. She had like this Barbie with this, tail. It was a mermaid. But we went to SeaWorld. We had a pass at SeaWorld. We went there a lot. So she said, oh, the Shamu Barbie. She didn't know it was a mermaid. So that's the only thing she knew. You know what I mean? And that's the connections she made. And when you are creating anything or when you're pursuing anything, I think it's better to discover it yourself first. And so I've always believed in, to this day, I've just researched at the tip of it, like what I need to learn to be able to utilize it to like just be quality jewelry, you know what I mean? But as far as that, I actually literally have to stop myself because I don't want to limit how it can be made, how I could use it.
What advice would you give to someone who's starting their business?
If you're going to start your own business, believe in yourself and be true to yourself, and don't let anyone talk you down of what you can do, because you decide that. You live your life, not your friends or your family. You are responsible for your own happiness, and it's not what happens to you, it's how you choose to live. And just love yourself, love yourself and be true to yourself.
Yeah.
And that you can do it. You really can do it if you really put in the hard work. There's no secret to it. You just figure out what you want to do. Put in the hard work, read a lot of books, and then just make it happen, like it may take years, it may take like what I told you, you see someone do it fast and you kind of get frustrated, but it's not about being fast, it's like building it the way you're supposed to be building it, and just be true to yourself in your own walk.
So I want to thank you so much for this interview. You were an awesome person to interview because you're such a huge inspiration.
Thank you, you're so sweet.
Well, you're inspiration.
I don't deserve this much credit.
Yes, you totally do. So again, she sells her art on Etsy as well as some local stores here in Southern California. So your best bet would probably be to check out her Etsy page.
Yes.
And you also have a Facebook Etsy page.
Yes.
And do you want to say where you're selling?
I'm selling some really, really cool, like it's different than the jewelry I have online on metallography in Old Town Temecula. And then I'm also in the future going to be working in Riverside with the Om Soul Sanctuary.
Cool.
So that's like a healing like a yoga healing place, but it's more like healing.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.